We're here to defend children. We're talking about an abortion, which is a choice to intentionally destroy an innocent human life.
That's exactly right. And you do wish people would push back harder. And by the way, if they can't have an honest conversation about it, then maybe they don't have pure motives. I guess I would conclude.
You gotta love the right wing of this country, don't you? A few days ago, Tucker Carlson went on his program on Fox News. He accused Joe Biden and the White House of basically making up a story about a 10-year-old in Ohio who was raped, got pregnant, couldn't seek care under the heartbeat law in Ohio, called around in Indiana to make sure that they could get care in that state. Tucker Carlson first went on his program and said the story was a complete lie and was being made up, and that it was, it was just the White House politicizing this abortion stuff and blah, blah, blah. And even and still, that would mean a rape took place. So why aren't they bigging up that part? And on and on and on it goes.
And why did the Biden administration, speaking of lying, just repeat a story about a 10-year-old child who got pregnant and then got an abortion or was not allowed to get an abortion when it turns out the story was not true? And by the way, when a 10-year-old gets pregnant, the first question is not, how do we get rid of the kid? The first question is, where's the rapist? Where's the rapist?
Again, this is just typical obfuscation. This is typical just pass the buck nonsense that you'll see from the right wing, where like this abortion ban stuff is really unpopular. It was done wholly undemocratically. It's bullshit. No legs to stand on. And so, of course, a couple of nights later, you get Carlson on his show, never issuing a correction and saying that, no, this actually did happen and it's because, of course, you know, the lesson learned from Donald Trump over the past now 6 years is that you never admit wrong if you're a right-winger. In fact, you do the opposite. You double down and pretend that your point was actually double right.
But on Friday, he used the story of a 10-year-old rape victim to push for more abortion. According to Joe Biden, the laws in Ohio forced a 10-year-old rape victim to flee to Indiana to get that abortion. Now, the White House never vetted the facts of that story. It's the President of the United States saying things that no one checked, but the facts didn't make any sense.
So, of course, he doesn't issue a correction and he goes another way. He says, I wonder why they're so focused on the abortion that you're able to get in Ohio. He shows a clip of some AG saying that, no, it would have been completely fine to get care from this 10-year-old rape victim.
On Monday, for example, the Attorney General of Ohio said there would not be a reason for this child to flee to Ohio in the first place. Watch.
Ohio's heartbeat law has a medical emergency exception, broader than just the life of the mother. This young girl, if she exists and if this horrible thing actually happened to her, it breaks my heart to think about it, she did not have to leave Ohio to find treatment.
Which is just crazy that you have to come out and say publicly that a victim of rape can get care in your state from your law. That's whatever. That's neither here nor there. It's just a great tactic or despicable tactic from Tucker, where he's like, "Oh, I know why they don't want to talk. Why they kept dwelling on this abortion thing that doesn't exist. I know why."
Nobody seemed interested at all in learning who this person was. And maybe there was a reason for that. In fact, there was another moral to the story. Apparently, the rapist was an illegal alien.
And he goes, I know why. What about the rape part of this? Why aren't they mentioning the rape part? You know, they clearly don't want to do it. They don't want to talk about the rape and all of that. And of course, eventually he reveals that the guy who raped this young woman was undocumented, all of this. And allegedly, this is why they didn't want to bring it up. Never mind the fact again, the was caught. He's going to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. They got his ass. He's done for. That guy will be behind bars and then deported. He will no longer be able to do this again, which is kind of makes sense that nobody was dwelling on the rapist part because the guy was caught. Like this idea that it was just ignored. And it's in keeping with the way we talk about a lot of this stuff around rape, around victims of sexual crimes. Like we often just get caught up in the punitive aspect of this. Like how punitive can we be towards the perpetrator, which, again, people who commit crimes should be punished. I just wish that we would concentrate way more energy on care for victims. We just don't give about care in this country, and it's sad. And Tucker Carlson's little twisted little maneuver here is just the latest example of that.